What does God require in the fourth and fifth commandment? Fourth, that on the Sabbath day we spend time in public and private worship of God, rest from routine employment, serve the Lord and others, and so anticipate the eternal Sabbath. Fifth, that we love and honour our father and our mother, submitting to their godly discipline and direction. When God gives a command, often two things are happening at the same time. First of all, God knows what's best for us. In love, his commands are for our good, as individuals and as society. Second, God is creating signs. We obey the command because it points to an even greater, wonderful reality. Let's think about the fourth and fifth commandments in these ways. First of all, the Sabbath. In the Old Testament, God's people Israel would work 6 days, and the seventh was a day to stop, to rest, to gather with other believers to worship God, and a day to give rest. If you were a farmer, you had to make sure all the people who worked for you also had a day off, and in fact you had to give the animals a day off as well. And all of this was a signpost. Every 7 days you had a little picture of how the world should be, of how the world will be one day. God made the world to be full of adventure and joy, beauty and delight, where people love being together and we want to know God and love him, live with him and glorify him. Every Sabbath was like a little picture of the perfect world. Today, Christians have Sunday as our one day in 7. That's the day when we remember that Jesus rose from the dead on the first day of the week to guarantee that eternal, glorious future, the eternal, joyful rest. So weekly Sabbath is a weekly signpost to the eternal Sabbath. And also, it's good for us. We need a day to relax and help others to rest. We need to set aside time so that we can deliberately focus on God. In our hectic world with busy lives, we need the discipline of a weekly rest. It's good for us. Then there's the fifth commandment. Honour your father and mother. Again, this is good for us. On the whole, speaking generally, societies flourish when you have fathers and mothers who are married and love one another, serve one another, who love and discipline their children, and when children honour their parents. And children learn from parents. They learn how to honour those who have authority. And that's vital for a positive culture. For young children, honouring parents often means doing what they say. Older children, it might mean looking to your mother and father for wisdom. For adults, honouring your parents might mean looking after them in old age. And the fifth commandment is for our good. Of course, there are situations where a mother or father might not be around. Sadly, there are times when they might behave badly or tell children to do things that are wrong. There are tricky situations. But when we honour our parents, it's good for us, and we have another signpost. Good fathers and good mothers point us to God. And the very best, an earthly father will help us get an understanding of our heavenly Father. At best, our families are signposts pointing us to the greatest family, the church. So God's commands are for our good. And God's commands are like signposts pointing us to how good he is. What does God require in the fourth and fifth commandment? Fourth, that on the Sabbath day We spend time in public and private worship of God, rest from routine employment, serve the Lord and others, and so anticipate the eternal Sabbath. Fifth, that we love and honour our father and our mother, submitting to their godly discipline and direction.